Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night to you, wherever you are. Thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate it, and welcome to the Sunday Culture Review. As we start and we get going, we're going to build the audience. We're also going to build our panel. We're starting off with 5 amazing people. Well, 4, and then myself. So I think I'm amazing. Maybe other people think I'm amazing. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But we also have some really cool things to talk about that happened during the course of the week. So let's get started right away with one of the longest time panelists I've ever had, and somebody with a unique voice and far too much humility. We have AFK Bard immediately to my left. AFK, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. It's a Sunday, which sucks, but I get a 5-day weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
Ooh, when does that start?
On Wednesday. My office was doing a donation campaign, and we were competing against our other offices, and we won, so we got an extra day. So I'm pumped.
That's fantastic. That's really, really awesome. And, anytime you can get that extra little bit out of work, that extra little bit that you actually get paid for, that's fantastic. So I'm going to bring in Vigilante Williamson while we continue to do our introductions. Mr. Wes Moody, how are you doing on this lovely day, sir? Am I the only one that can't hear Wes?
No, is he miming for us?
I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Welcome, my friend. I'm doing great. Always great to be with these amazing people on the panel. Make sure that you're subscribed to every one of them. And, of course, the best chat on YouTube. Hail, my friends.
Hail. Wow. Thank you, Wes. Very good. We have another special guest, someone who I started streaming with very early on as well. He's a video game guy. He's got some unique takes on other stuff. I really am glad that his computer is back up and running. We have the Atlantean. What's up, the Atlantean?
How's it going? Oh, hey, Wes, can I say something? Your mime classes are going really well.
Thanks.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. We've also got a very special guest. I'm going to say that I am delighted to premiere for the very first time on my channel. One of a couple of different people, but this person is extra special because she is the better half of one of my great friends, Ord's Board. Of course, I'm talking about Kashyyyk Queen, also known as Amber. Hi, Amber.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me.
You betcha. Well, I am glad that you can be here. I'm glad Ord's got you all set up.
Yes,
I'm glad that you have a cat invasion behind you.
I do.
And I like that the set's dressed up all Christmassy. So I think that's great. Thank you so very much for being here. You are the best. I really enjoy you on Queen's Council. I'm trying to get you to do more stuff. I think Ord's probably will too. But,
yeah.
Okay, very good. And then finally, I want to introduce another amazing and new talent that has shown up on the platform. We have Vigilante Williamson, who I have to say I've done a little bit of streaming with already, and I'm glad he's here on the show, making his first appearance on the Sunday Culture Review. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Talent is debatable, but I appreciate it. Vigilante Williamson with the first episode of CultureCasino that I have ever appeared on. I'm grateful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm glad I could actually make this happen because StreamYard was not cooperating with me at all yesterday. I was trying to do my member stream, and since the night before, I'd been working with them, 19 emails back and forth, and I ended up having to figure out my own workaround. So at least we're here. Yes. So yeah, it is what it is. And of course, we had another wonderful panelist join us in the background who I didn't want to bring until just now. The Mere Sphere's Origin, who in and of his own self, he is he's a creator of varying types, including a graphic novel he's putting together that I'm interested in. So Mere Sphere, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? I'd let you all know that I regained my nerd cred. I've watched Willow. And it was a fantastic movie. Because I know last week I was like, I don't know what Willow is, and everybody's like, oh my god!
Yeah, you got kind of busted.
It was a fantastic fucking movie, by the way.
Yeah, you got
it.
Yeah, you
Great.
got a little bit busted. Well, yeah, but that's okay. That's
I never
okay.
heard it.
You know,
Oh,
nobody can see everything, and I'm, I always, I'm like, you know what? We all vary in ages, right? So, some of us had more time on the earth to see things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure.
But look, I just want to say this is great. We have at least one more panelist, if not two more, that will be joining us here shortly, I hope. And if not, that's okay too. Everybody's busy. This is the time of year we are headed into. A time of year that I enjoy very much because it is a charitable season, and the opportunity to give your time and your effort to people is just as valuable as your money and the consumerism that goes along with it in the form of gifts. So, but there are many ways to give gifts. They don't always have to be about things. They don't have to always be about money. So just keep that in mind. Reaching out to somebody and giving a glad hand, having a good conversation, sharing a meal, those are as important right now as almost anything else. So just keep that in mind. And with that, does anybody have anything they are burning to talk about before we fire into subjects? Raise your hand.
Hey,
Raise your
one
hand.
second. I just found this out on Gary's channel. He's doing his live stream.
Oh, cool.
I guess he was just told that when we try to post people's links, we need to test that because other channels cannot see your links. Like,
oh my goodness.
The person will post it. It'll look like he posted it, but to everybody else, they can't see it.
Wow. All right. Well,
so
let's see if we can keep track of that. I think Makini 90s. If Makini's not there, I'm surprised Makini's not in the panel right now. But
I saw him.
Makini's busy, but anyway, I just want to say hi to some folks in the chat. We'll get fired into the subjects, and we'll keep track of those links because, boy, let me tell you, for somebody who doesn't have any content yet. Amber Marie, that's Kashik Queen, who's working on her headphones right now. She actually has over 25 subscribers for having produced zero content. So way to go, Amber.
Thanks.
Right. Anyway, let's say hi to some folks in the chat. There's M. Dastardly. How's it going, my friend and my member? We have Keith Howard. Hey, Keith, good to see you. I'm glad that you got a chance to catch up on Friday's show, and I'm glad you're here today. Appreciate that, friend. Who Knew is here. What's up, Who Knew? Appreciate it. The salt is definitely flowing, my friend, and thank you for promoting the like button. Please lovingly lick the like button like you mean it. I appreciate that. Hey, I can say some spicy things without using spicy words. So we have Lord Vader. What's up, Lord Vader? Lord Vader goes by a few handles. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Jaffo is here. Apollo Patriot, who has made some new unique video content, and it's amusing. So you can check that out. And in addition to all his great uniform videos that he does for everyone, it's very cool. I like his channel. It's a good way to burn some time while you're trying to recover brain cells. So it's
still working on that.
Yeah. You need to. Yeah, recovering brain cells is hard. And there's Makini. What's up, Makini? Good to see you, my friend. Excellent mod, excellent person, and an excellent channel. So be sure you check out Makini and all of his art and everything. He is an artist for the Fourth Wave and Rogue Entertainment. He's officially designated as such. So we appreciate him so very much. Oh, wow. What is this? This better be good. I put on my underwear. Well, okay. I will definitely do what I can for you there.
Not working.
Tina. Hi, Tina. Good to see you. Tina Bojan. Tina is amazing. Tina is a great supporter of everybody on this panel and everybody's channels. Tina is truly incredible and just a great human being. And recently was hanging out with Mr. Drunk 3PO. That's right. I think that was kind of a cool thing. I got to see some stuff on Twitter. I think somebody was hanging out with
too.
Yeah, hanging out with Nemo. I think that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. And there's nothing better than getting some of that. A little bit of joy from someplace. If you can swing it, that nothing wrong with Disney World for sure. Look, Memes of Destruction is here. Kip Ellis is here, and Kip even joined as a new member. Thank you, Kip. Nice. I really appreciate that. I cannot wait to give you guys the member stream that you truly deserve. So that going forward, you know what? There's a couple of announcements I think everybody should know. Whether or not anybody on this panel can attend, I still intend to do the year in review, culture review next Sunday. So I will be doing that. We will go through everything that kind of started and ran through this year. So that's a little housekeeping. I also intend to do my member stream the day after Christmas. So if you're looking for something to do as a member, feel free to pop in. It should be fun. We're gonna kind of Q&A it up, so it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have, of course, a subject or two, but for the most part, it's just gonna be freewheeling of us just talking and shooting the breeze. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the utilization of StreamYard, if it's working, I am going to send out the link to the members in the member stream as we're doing it, and you can join. And I can kind of coach you through making that work. I can even coach you through that in advance if you want to participate. So just keep that in mind. Let's see what we've got here. Hey, Casino, we need to help Tulips from Titan. She's on YouTube. She's a cool person. She's at 13 on YouTube. We should give her a shout out. Well, okay. Here's a shout out.
I just linked her.
Very good. Thank you, AFK. See, we're right on top of it.
Yeah,
we always
not
support everybody.
Yeah, we're not seeing any links.
Oh, no. It really isn't. That's terrible.
No.
Yeah, pretty much only channel members' links are showing to other people, and all your wrenches, none of them are showing. Like it looks like
so. My wrenches can't post links.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, because I just posted one. I can see it. So in chat, it looks like it's there, but if you look in the other chat, it's not there at all.
Oh, that's so weird. Well,
That's very strange.
Yeah.
go check her out anyways.
Well, I tell you what, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, let's do it this way. You know what? I will put that up in just a second because I'm not going to kill the show in order to type things. I want to say hi to people and then we need to move on. We've got Soul Assassin here. Hey, Soul Assassin, what's going on? Appreciate you. We have the Atlantean sending us a Doomicorn super sticker. With no McKinney 90 here, I am forced to do this. Doom. There you go.
That's
we have
more amazing in person. I'm not gonna lie. That's
Well,
more
okay.
amazing than.
I appreciate that, and thank you for the super sticker, my friend. You are overly generous, but it's truly appreciated. In fact, each and every one of you, in your own way, are overly generous, and I appreciate each of you. So just realize that. Larry is here and says, "CC, hail." We'll hail to you, my friend. And as I mentioned, Kip Ellis is a new member. We've got Zacharat 315. What's going on? And good afternoon to you. We have, my goodness, lots of folks showing up. Of course, M. Dastry says, "Cat. There's a cat." Runner, what's up, Runner? Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you, my man. I am digging the fact that we are all streaming various games. Mostly, it seems like Cyberpunk. The Atlantean is going to. Yeah, the Atlantean's going to talk about stuff that he's working on here at the end of the show. So we're going to dive a little bit into that. AFK Bart says, "Dame. Look at that sexy panel." Well, thank you very much for $2 super chat, and you aren't wrong. Look at all these amazing human beings. So I really appreciate each of you. Yes, you still need to see Willow Runner, but that's okay. You're a bit young. You have time. You can catch up. Ords is here. What's up, Ords? Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you, brother. That's the other half of the Harridan Menace, who I will be hanging out with, playing a new video game that supposedly I'm going to be told what it is so I can download it so we can play it tonight. I'm looking forward to that. So we've got, this is a good sentiment. We can certainly talk about it. In fact, I think it'll probably come up in one of the segments, or probably the first one that we're going to do today. Philip A. Demick, hello, and cheers to you, my friend. Look at all the holiday wishes that come along with that. Well, thank you so very much. You know, I can't even begin. For those of you who can translate emoticons, if you want to work on that, that would be cool. We've got Hugh Photographer live from the lockdown in London. Well, hello, Hugh Photographer. Appreciate you, my friend. My goodness, Mando Merc is here. Greetings, my friend, and welcome. I thought you were doing Cyberpunk today, Mando. I did not send you a link via Discord. So I didn't do that on purpose. But if you are available and you'd like to come on, just let me know. One of us can get you in here. Vigilante Williamson, maybe you have more fun without underwear. Well, you know what? Sometimes you do. I think there are certain times you absolutely want to. It's easier to shower without,
Stream is so sexy. So
Wait, we're not supposed to shower in our underwear. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it's more effective if you don't. More effective.
I suppose if you want to do laundry at the same time, it works.
Well, it does, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's less harsh chemicals on your clothing, I guess. But
Yeah.
That's an odd mix of flora and fauna. Larry says, Cashy Queen have a channel? I can't find it. That's because Amber's hidden it very well. And you're missing a Y and an underscore. There's an underscore between the K and the Queen. And the link's actually in the description for the video, Larry. So it is down there. It should be. I'm doing better. I'm doing better at those things. So let's see. We've got lots of folks showing up. I can sit here and say amazing things. Oh, look at this. I also noticed in chats when I mod, the links don't show. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, my friend. I really don't.
They said several channels aren't being able to do it. Yeah,
that's insane. I don't like it. Look, we don't get promotion in any other form than to promote each other, and so being able to make these links work is key. So this is something we probably should bring to YouTube. YouTube.
I feel a conspiracy theory brewing right now.
It's the
conspiracy.
They don't want our names out there.
Well, if you think that's I so far I'm not prevented from putting people's channel links in the description. So and I will find a way to do it on the screen here in just a minute. I can actually put a banner on the bottom myself, which I will do for our person that we're going to promote here in Tulips from Titan. So I'm going to put that banner up so we can definitely do that. Let's see what else. Oh, we've got a Kashyyyk. You did not have to do this. You guys are on the panel.
I know, but I want to say thank you.
Well, look, you can just say thank you, and it's fine. For the $5.99 or $4.99 is not you're more than welcome. My goodness, jeez. Forbidden Ruin is here. The Time Prophet is here. Good to see you all. Good to see you. All the people praising Mano just reassured she's getting a new contract next year. I want to talk a little bit about that because there is no contract that I'm aware of on the horizon. There are soft extensions. So that's how that's going to go, as from my understanding as of this very moment, and going back even a couple of weeks. So
give us some hope, CC. How much time does she have on her actual contract?
A lot of people.
Well, theoretically, it would have ended the third week or fourth week of January. But I can assure you she is around through March, at the very least, in her current position. I will tell you that her name will be tied to Lucasfilm forever, unfortunately. Not because of her. Not because of any other reason than the projects that she's been associated with in the past and the things that she will have her name tied to right now. When those expire, again, you can't scrub people's names off of credits, or at least you usually don't. So we'll see, but it's quite possible. Yeah, and this is an interesting thing. Meme says
nobody wants to take the position.
Yeah,
we need a good Star Wars villain modeled on KK.
It would be really easy. Darth KK. Yeah. Karen Prime is here and says, "Sorry, I'm late, Cuddles. Namaste, peace. You are not late.
Karen Prime.
You are exactly on time when you intend to be. So I appreciate you being here. And even if you're here watching on the replay, guys, thank you so very much. You're the best. Appreciate you so very much." Parrothead says, "Hail, all hail." We've got, I'm saying hi to a lot of people, you guys. Thank you so much for your support today. We got 40 of you in the chat now. My goodness. Thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you, or Monday, I guess, if you're down under and have time traveled forward. I really don't know how they do that. I mean, they're a whole day ahead of us. I just crazy. Moira gives us her special kitty welcome. Well, hey, Moira, good to see you. It was great seeing you on Ords' stream last night. It was awesome. Ords totally deserved his monetization. Couldn't be more proud of my brother in here. And he's just the coolest dude, man. Just the chillest, coolest dude. And I'm so glad he got there. So that's great. Eric DeHoff is here. He says, "Hey, Culture Casino and panel." Hey, Eric DeHoff, I've been seeing you around a lot lately. Thank you so very much for supporting all of these channels. I appreciate you, and I really appreciate your picture. That avatar picture is incredible. Thank you so very much. We got, let's see. Wait. Kashyyyk's is Ord system going to work this time? Well, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Hey, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that Kashyyyk was like pulling some strings. So I think Ords is I think it'll be good. Larry says, "Soft extension is not what I want to have." No, nobody wants a soft extension. That's for sure, for various reasons. Lady Tario for $5 in the super chat says, "Thanks for promoting everyone. It's great of you, Culture." Well, I want to promote you especially, Lady Tario. You are you make great content. It's very fun. It's very direct. I like the visual. Je ne sais quoi that you do your stuff with, and I love your intro. So yes, and I love the music. And you know, some of my favorite things are represented in the things that you produce. So thank you so very much. Soft extensions. Ooh, that sounds ethically flaccid. Yeah, kind of. Darth Karen the Ree. Thank you, Soul Assassin. KK the Hut. Well, yeah. Yeah. So, well, we'll get there. I promise. Stan Moff. Stank Moff KK. Oh my gosh. Perfect. Stank Moff KK. Instead of, yes, very good. Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I was just going to make a witticism. I think that she should break the glass ceiling of mustache twirly villains, and the KK modeled evil female villain should have a mustache that she twirls.
I don't know, but I did see somebody with eyebrows that rivaled like the bushiest you could find on an evil villain. We'll get there. Maybe. I hope. Maybe not. We'll see. I showed a video last night on someone else's stream, and I think I set back, aesthetics like generations. But anyway, Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Oh goodness! There we go. Blue-Eyed Scorpio says, "I'm not here. All evidence to the contrary, my friend. But thank you for not being here, or whatever here is." Thank you.
He's an interdimensional alien.
Jimmy Myers says, "Hello, all." Well, hello, and I love your avatar. That's friggin' awesome. Not my Star Wars. KK is Rey. Well, look. These people can't help but putting themselves in things because their imagination doesn't extend beyond themselves. And I've said that, and I meant it, and it is what it is. Forbidden Ruin says, "Who's the person under CC?" Oh, Vigilante Williamson. Vigilante Williamson is a new creator making content, talking about stuff. Channel description information is all in the description below in the description panel. Vigilante, tell them what you talk about, man. You need to do a little bit more elaboration on who you are and what you do before we get going.
Well, I'm a human. I do human things. No, I talk about.
Are we really?
I used to say I talk about politics, but it's mainly just pivoted over to pop culture, just weird woke stuff. I was doing Cyberpunk streams, but that crashed to oblivion, so I'm taking that game back. And I am the only person. Well, I'm not the only person anymore, but I was the first person to say that this Luke Skywalker thing is a Trojan horse. And I see more people are starting to kind of see that may be the case. But I'm just, so I was wearing a gas mask. And like I said, I need a gas mask for all the internet woke gas that is coming out. But no, I'm just another YouTuber out here. I also, I do music. I haven't actually put any out outside of a terrible, terrible cover of, I can't, it was a Nirvana song and in my Mando review. So check that out. Check out my reviews. Check out my stuff.
Yeah, please do, because Vigilante's got great content, excellent voice,
yesterday.
and not afraid to speak his mind. So I love that very much. So I appreciate that, and hopefully we see Vigilante Williamson around various streams more and more often. So guys,
I'll be streaming all day today, actually.
Do be sure. Say again.
So I'm streaming all day today. I'll be doing this stream, then my stream, then Jake D's stream. So,
Jake D's awesome. That's great.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, we had fun yesterday on Jake D's.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun.
Jake D's a good dude. I love hanging out with him. Got to get him back on this show, so it's going to be awesome. This is a good idea, Larry. KK walks into the Hut Castle, Bubba Blaster. Okay, I won't say that out loud because violence is unless it's in a form of escapism is I have difficulty with. But let's see. So gutted. 10 minutes into Order stream, my dang internet dropped completely. Yeah. That's a bummer. But you know what, Karen? Ords knows you support him wholeheartedly, so we're very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
We've got
too. Let's see. Everybody's in here. It was very nice to have Ords invite me. It made me feel very included. Well, of course you're included everywhere. Goodness gracious, there.
Inclusive.
All right. So DJ Odyssey's here. Holy cow, DJ, haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for popping in, brother. Appreciate that. And the very lovely and the very influential on me, Teresa or Miss Martin Muses. I love the fact that my very first live streaming experience was with her, and I developed my chops because of her. So I'm very, very thankful. I will say it every time. And hello and a rose to you as well. Let's see. Let's see. Man, guys, you guys are, everybody keeps popping in. I really appreciate all of you. You are amazing, amazing humans. Let's see. You don't know that wasn't you do know that wasn't Mark Hamill, right? Yeah, actually, we're going to talk about that. In fact, that's going to be the very first thing. So, Jason C's here. Cool. All right, everybody. I think I've caught up with everybody that's rolled in. I'm not buying the CGI Jake Skywalker. Well, we will talk about it. And yeah, I know Vigilante is like, yes. But we will absolutely do this. And we will go from there. And hail to you, Jason C. So there we are. Oh, LDG Pixels is here too. Hey, buddy. You know what? Check out all these amazing humans. But let's talk about this, okay, guys? We're going to do this like adults. We're going to talk about the fact that Star Wars is apparently one of the only two vehicles that Disney has at their disposal to manufacture any kind of content right now. Does anybody disagree with that?
Right.
Well, pretty soon. I have a feeling pretty soon.
That's all they've been using.
Yeah, go ahead, Atlantean.
I was going to say pretty soon. I don't even think they're going to have Marvel to be a vehicle anymore.
It seems like they're doing some damage to it. What do you think, Vigilante?
Oh well, I mean, all they have is Marvel and Star Wars. How I feel about their entire slate is there's some of it that's interesting, most of it is, and a lot of it's not even going to happen.
Yeah. Oh wow! So that is like legit. That's awesome. An indie wrestler named Amber Nova. Well, that's cool, dude. I will have to check that out. Hopefully, there's something available there. As far as YouTube content, I can check out, or maybe on Twitter. We'll see. K. John Boom says watching orders is fun time. Okay, all right. Sorry guys, I'm easily distracted. It's like shiny objects. But let's
it's like a fair with laser.
Let's take a look at our first article, because this is the Trojan horse that Vigilante Williamson is referring to. Mark Hamill on his secret appearance in the Mandalorian season finale, nothing less than a miracle. Well, guys, guess what? It wasn't Mark Hamill. Okay, it was his voice, and so it's pretty easy to keep your voice a secret, right? It's harder to keep a physical-bodied person showing up on set a secret, but I can understand where I guess this is coming from, and I don't know. So let's start here. Was it amazing that Mark Hamill's voice showed up in this show? Was that surprising and they were able to keep it a secret? Not really, but were they able to? Anyone?
I didn't know about it.
I didn't know about it.
Okay.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't get the hate crowd inside Lucasfilm talking about oh my God, fucking people are bowing to the fans. They're bringing Luke back. That I'm surprised. Because usually those guys that are all over Twitter attacking the fans, be like, fine, you happy now? It's like,
well, no. Oh, did I just break that for you, the Time Prophet? I'm sorry. I figured we were far enough away from it. It wasn't a spoiler. Did I just do that? Was it me?
I think he's being sarcastic.
I think there's a little.
Yeah. Here's what I want to know. I want to know if it's like The Empire Strikes Back, where the stand-in had different lines than what Mark Hamill read.
Yeah. Actually, we can talk about that. And that's actually one of the next stories I want to get into. First of all, Jay did call it. Jay had some information. I can reveal now we had an interesting conversation at dinner a couple weeks prior to the show airing and stuff like that. There's a certain amount of information that some of us have access to from time to time, and Jay called it. Jay knew. Jay was informed. Let's put it that way. And I want to speak to this, K. John Boom, and we're going to move forward. We're going to bounce between these two articles today, but in order to do this properly, I have to bounce between the articles. So,
Uh-oh.
What the hell happened?
Oh no!
The CIA got him.
Interdimensional aliens got Culture Casino.
They beamed him up, Scotty.
So,
Well, am I in charge now that I'm in the top left corner? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There he is.
There he is.
Did you remove yourself?
Windows. Too many browser windows. So
Oh.
I backpedaled on my thing, and I backpedaled the wrong browser window.
Oh, I hate when I do that.
That was incredibly stupid.
Get it.
So,
Nice, dude.
but I want to introduce all of you to, and you can say boomer. You can say boomer.
It's all right.
I Uber every stream, but I'm half your.
Oops, that was the wrong thing.
When he
Share
the old man
screen.
voice.
Share screen. You guys are terrible. You're so mean to the old man.
Oh, we love you.
Okay. So this wasn't a stuntman. This wasn't a stuntman. This was an actor who looks very much like him. They did minimal CGI mapping. And here he is. Here's who played Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. His name is Max Lloyd Jones, and he's been in lots of other things. So, as you can see, he has a resemblance and facial structure similar to a younger Mark Hamill.
He does
a little bit.
very much, especially the eyes and the nose there.
Yeah, and which is a good thing. So they did have to map around some certain things, and they had to work on the timing with the mouth, which is why the CGI looked a little weird, because the voiceover in the looping was done by Mark Hamill. So Mark Hamill's appearance, guys, was nothing more than a dub. Yeah, it was a dub. It was a dub. But I wanted to address that comment by K. John Boone, because it was essentially a body double, or a physical double, a little bit different representation of Luke than we've seen. Obviously, some of the moves in the things were wrong. You know what? I'm gonna start with AFK, then I'll go to Amber. AFK, have you seen this? And what kind of impression did it make on you?
I was very conflicted, because I'm all about the story stuff, and looking at it just from a story point of view, it was a very exciting moment. It was a really cool concept. However, you can't really pull it off, because not only is even if you can get beyond the uncanny valley as far as the CGI itself, the mind already knows that it's not real, so it takes away from the story immediately, because instead of going, oh wow, there's this really cool badass Jedi who's coming in the scene and doing something, you're immediately drawn to the fact that, oh, it's the CGI thing, and I have to pay attention to the face and see how they did it to see if it looks good, and then you just kind of lose all perspective of it, I guess. And so I thought it was cool, but at the same time, it took me out of the moment at the same time, because there's just no way that piece would have fit properly. And so the fact that it's there and kind of like a loose leg on a chair, it's a really nice chair, but it's kind of bugging me.
Wow, that's a wonderful way to describe it. Amber, you're up next. Let's actually, you know what? I think I can move people. Let's see. I did. Look at that. That's cool.
That.
All right. Wow, yeah. All right. So there you go. So let's talk about it. Amber, did you get a chance to see this? And I know since you haven't probably described your Star Wars love, or even if you have any before, this gives you an opportunity to do that too. So where do you fall on the question at hand?
I have not seen it yet. We are waiting for the season to end so we can binge watch
Oh,
it.
we spoiled the crud out of it.
That's okay. No, it's okay. But yeah, Ords wants to do videos on it, but it's hard for him to do like a video after each episode. So we were just planning on binge watching it and then doing like a one episode to cover it all. So
okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that's probably wise, and hopefully it's the two of you talking about it. So that'll be a lot of fun for the audience, because you guys talking to each other is kind of cool. It's kind of a fun interview. So yeah. So no, that's cool. You know what? So we've had some nice voices talk about this thing. Now let's have a little more critical voices, or what I will presume. I'm assuming that will be a little more critical. The Atlantean, let's go. What do you think?
I have a mean voice. Is that what you're insinuating?
No.
I know I'm good at ranting, but is that the vibe I give off? It's like, oh, this guy's gonna have something to bitch about. It's okay.
No. I want that. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to be honest upfront about this. I never had an interest in watching the show. The only reason I know about this is because I heard people talking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look up the spoiler. And I did. I actually did. I looked up the spoilers the day after, and I read about this, and I wanted to destroy my phone after reading it. I'm just gonna say that simply. It's just, God. How do I say this?
Angry Atlantean. Angry.
To the dark side of Atlantean.
That's your
No,
rage.
mildly irritated because what irks me about this is partially the fact that it's a deep pull from the rectal cavity of Disney. Anything like this is going to be that kind of pull. Palpatine returning in Rise of Skywalker was such a pull. Any calls to nostalgic base with everything that's happened after the sequel trilogy is, pardon my language, I need to say it, is an ass pull. There's no other way around it. It's not for anything other than to bank on nostalgia. So when I heard about this, when I read about it and read what was going on in the context, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't invest the time into this, because if I would have seen that, I would have been far more angrier than I was just reading about it.
Right.
And it's like it more or less cemented the fact that these people writing the show don't give a damn about continuity. What continuity? It's like, if there was a mission, if this was like a video game, a mission screen, there would be your main objectives: wokeness, false representation, SJW nonsense, and under optional objectives, it would be respect for the old characters and continuity.
Wow.
So my thoughts on this, it's just banking on nostalgia. There's no reason for it other than that. It's a saving throw. And I don't want to sound too critical on the community that watches this, but I'm going to be. It's worked, and it shouldn't have. It worked in one of the worst ways possible, and it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have, because think about this. This destroys the continuity. We know where it goes. Okay? It's like, okay, after Return of the Jedi, basically with what happened in The Last Jedi, we know where Luke ends up. It doesn't matter what happens, what they show between, any in between Return of the Jedi and The Last Jedi. That 30 years, we know where it ends up. So any chance at bringing him back to his old glory, it's just going to be far more irritating and probably anger-inducing, because they're doing it after the fact when they should have done it with the films.
Wow. I can't disagree with you. Wes, your swing, and then we'll try to get these done, because we have some stuff to talk about around it, and I just want to get everybody's impression. So Wes, please.
Okay, well, I acknowledge a lot of what's being said here, and I can see both sides. Me personally, I thought it was an amazing way to bookend that season. I thought it was an amazing way to wrap up the Baby Yoda, which I was not a fan of. Get him off the show.
How dare you? His name is
I love him.
A walking continuity error in and of himself, actually.
Yeah, I think that Favreau is as skillfully as you can. I mean, they have, I had seen some things where it looked like they were referencing the sequel trilogy, but what it appears to me what they're trying to do is, it looks like they're setting up that the Luke we saw in TLJ was a clone, and that this is in fact the real Luke Skywalker. And so if they're willing to undo the sequel trilogy that way, I'll give them credit for it, because it seems like, Favreau, I mean, the skill set between Favreau and the KK camp, I mean, it's like Favreau's way up here and KK's way down here. And I think that if you hadn't had the sequel trilogy and all you got was Mandalorian, it would be 3 to 4 times more successful than it is. I think no matter how good you are, that wound from the sequel trilogy is very, very deep, and people are still really upset. I'm still really upset.
Yeah.
And you can't think, because when you look at Mandalorian and how they're handling the lore, and they're honoring the lore, and they're doing effective and good storytelling, it reminds you how shitty the sequel trilogy is and pisses you off. At least it does for me. So that's my take.
Wow. Okay. Vigilante Williamson, you are one of the people who've been very strongly opposed to this particular episode of the show. Maybe the show in its entirety, but go ahead, please.
Well, I wouldn't say the show in its entirety. I did enjoy it. So, Luke Skywalker is in Star Wars. Next, you're going to tell me Clark Kent is going to be Superman or Bruce Wayne is going to be Batman. Let's turn the clock back about 5 years when you were sitting in the theater in The Force Awakens, and let's have the exact same movie play up until the moment where they're on Starkiller Base and that lightsaber flies. If Luke catches that lightsaber, this moment does not even matter. Because if Luke catches that lightsaber, saves Finn and Rey, and they actually, even if it's not perfect, try to make 2 Star Wars movies after that, this moment is not a big deal. And what they learned and what every fandom and entertainment has learned with this moment, whether you're talking about sports, because a lot of people feel, oh, sports is too woke, or this is too woke, or this has pissed me off. What all of those companies learned is all you have to do is pander just a little bit, and you can get whatever you want. You can slam Boba Fett through a table. You can have Bo-Katan be everyone's bitchy boss. You can do whatever you want as long as you pander just a little bit. So that's what they learned, and that's how I feel. And that's not to say that the 2 seasons of The Mandalorian within themselves are pretty good, and it led up to that moment in and of itself pretty well. And if that was the last thing Disney Star Wars was going to do, I would say, okay, you know what, at least I don't have to deal with more. But that's just the beginning of their slate. They're going to do the Star Wars MCU, and Luke Skywalker will be Nick Fury, and that gives them more opportunities to ruin him like they already did Boba Fett within 2 episodes. So that's the long and short.
Well, you know, you're not wrong. I mean, there were points to enjoy in this particular season. I know I'm usually trying not to be such a downer. That's just not the way I work. I'm a positive dude, but it's hard to find positive sometimes when we're going after or we're talking about. I don't want to even say it in those terms. When we're engaging in conversation about the problems that we see with these shows, they're just, some of them are just too heavy, too far reaching to ignore, I think. But you know what, Mirasphere, this gives you a shot, and then we'll start to loosen up the format a little bit, because otherwise we're gonna get bored. But Mirasphere, go, buddy.
I like The Mandalorian just being by itself. Like, I try to keep it separate. But the problem is they like to stick those little couple words here and there that you're just like, no, don't do it. Because we all know if they attach it to the sequel trilogy, it's done. All the fans are going to be like, okay, well, they'll walk out. They'll be like, okay, yeah, we don't know what happens. They need to get rid of the sequel trilogy. It's their biggest anchor that they've ever produced. They're like, hey, this thing is literally holding the entire franchise down. They need to be like, we screwed up. Like, publicly, if they just come out, if they didn't have so much fucking pride, they could come out and say, you know what, fans, you're right. We tried something, it failed. We're going to just put that over here. Let's bring in people who understand Star Wars, and let's try again.
If they
I'll be okay. Unfortunately, some of the people are gone.
Oh, no.
And they can't ever really do that. They'd have to do something else. Or just leave it alone. Just be like, that never happened. The EU's back. Read the books. That's the trilogy after the original trilogy. It's just, whatever, the Tron series.
Thrawn.
Yeah, Thrawn, sorry. Thrawn series. That's the series. We're going to move on. We're going to go into a different area of Star Wars. We're not even going to mess with that. That's done. Well, just leave it. I would be fine with that. But they just, and then they have one huge problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing. Where is it going to go? Because as much as we don't like Baby Yoda, that shit sold like fucking candy. Now he's gone. What are they going to do next to make the Mando marketable? Because
you're not.
Maybe he'll get a baby. A baby.
Please, no more babies. I swear to God, if you just hand him another baby, I'll be like, are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, no, AFK was going to say something. Please, AFK.
I don't. It's hard for me to keep up on all like the rumors versus actuality of this, and I know they announced like a whole bunch of different stuff. But I got the impression, like, because when they introduced like the Mandalorian, right? They started labeling each episode as a chapter, right? And then they mention that there's now going to be like a book of Boba Fett. And then they have these other shows that they're going to be having that don't necessarily relate to book in the title, but the Mandalorian didn't either. So, I mean, the way I read it was that they ended this book with Luke and that they're going to be doing the Boba Fett thing and they're going to be doing these other characters. Have they legitimately said there will be a third season of The Mandalorian, or did they maybe just decide to keep hopping into these other spin-off, basically?
Well, it is that third thing. They had The Mandalorian in there, but that could have been masked over for the Boba Fett series. I don't know.
Right.
I guess I don't know.
I just thought of something. Because now Luke is taking care of Baby Yoda, that explains his obsession with titty milk.
Oh my god!
Because he's a wet nurse.
Okay, Amber, you what is appealing to you about the Mandalorian? What is appealing to you about that show? What speaks to you? What's the marketing that works for you, or does it? Or I mean,
I don't know. I love Baby Yoda. I'm one of those people who like. I have the plushies. I have shirts. I know that's bad, but I love it.
It's not bad. I know what you're enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm blushing. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I love the Ewoks too. So
when Ords and I started dating, I had never seen Star Wars. So we watched all the movies. I should probably watch them all again because I don't have a lot of knowledge with Star Wars, but I would love to learn more about it. I do love The Mandalorian, the show. Like the first season was amazing. So I can't wait to watch season 2.
Okay. And so you are willing to listen to the criticism that other people have.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to hear both sides.
Yeah. And by the way, and Mirrorsphere said it, I'm going to say it again. Please like what you like, love what you love. Don't let other people take that away from you. You know, even if all of us here have difficulty, or many of us, I should say, have difficulty with the show.
I love it. I don't know.
Already, The Mandalorian has accomplished much because the fandom debate that I'm hearing now, I'm not hearing anybody calling anybody any names.
Oh no, there's no name calling, and we're talking about the show. We're not talking about the politics in the show. And that's why we talk about it on this show. Yeah, exactly.
That's what nerds do. This has been nerds. This has been nerds geek culture since the beginning of time. We come like if you ever sat around a nerd table or something, they're arguing comic books, they're arguing about characters, or they're not like, you know, he's not gay or she's not freaking, you know, that's not inclusive enough. No, that's not what we argue. We're arguing story. We're arguing, you know, character development. We're, you know, powers. Whose powers are better than other people's powers and stuff like that's what geek culture does. We argue in that, but we're like, we love to argue that. That's the whole point. And all these people out the outside are like, look at those idiots, fucking, who cares? And that's the problem. The idiots out there who don't understand us are now in charge of the stuff we love. And there's like, who cares about story continuity? It's just a TV show. It's like, no, to us, it's not just a TV show.
That's actually because the idiots out there wanted to be part of the idiots that were in here because it was popular.
Right.
It's like those idiots, like the normies wanted to be the geeks, but they don't understand it and they yell at us for geek. Don't gatekeep. Like, you need to know what you're talking about before you get in here.
Well, it's like you know, you walk into the opportunity to learn how to play chess, right? You don't like the way that, you know, a rook moves, right? Yeah, you aren't going to change the game. And nobody's going to change the game for you because you don't like the way the rook works in the game. It's the same. It's the same.
Because you're not
thing,
good at
right?
chess doesn't mean you need to like change the rules or make you good at chess.
Look,
those folks should stick to checkers.
There you go.
What if I don't know how to play checkers though?
I want you to like what you like. I want you to like it for the reasons you like it. But I don't want you to like come in and try to change the things that other people already like. That seems a little selfish.
Make your own stuff.
Yeah.
If you're like, hey, I want to get it, create your own.
Yeah, Fat Steven Seagal says, and thank you for the $2 Canadian super chat, Fat Steven. When I bend over, my fat rear separates my pants.
All right. Good for you, buddy.
Hey, man.
Steven for beating up CD Project Red. I appreciate it.
Oh, he does. He's doing a good job. Vigilante. Fat Steven is all about, beating up the right things at the right time. So there it is.
It's going back today.
You're kidding me. You really are taking it. You know what? We are going to get to that, I hope.
Yeah, I want to hear what Vigilante has to say about that. Because
me too. But let's get through these super chats and we'll finish up on Star Wars, Wes, because I do too. I've been waiting for that. Jaffo, another member of mine, says something amazing. I love the dubstep music for the Dark Troopers. Me too. I thought that was kind of a neat way to change up. It was kind of a neat set off version of the themes that they use in that show. So I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
I had Tom's kind of thing. I didn't think it was like Star Warsy. Yeah, that was like kind of out of place.
Star Warsy. There's a lot of out of place stuff in the show, but
True.
Look at Amber's icon. It's Robert. So cool. All right. Anyway, I think it's cool.
That guy from Robot Chicken.
Yeah. It looks like. Well, anyway, I don't want to go there. But anyway, so all right. Let's see. Oh, what marketing gimmick will they come up with to tick off fannies next? That's UK, not a US fanny. All right. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this before I move on to the next super chat. Baby Yoda was an anchor for this show. It was one of the three things holding the show back. Because that show could never get to what it was going to be, which is a serial about this Mandalorian, this lone gunman, the gunslinger, the weekly, the Lone Ranger, for lack of a better term. And for as cute as Baby Yoda was, he was not Tonto, so that wasn't going to work. So it's they had to move along. So that was one of the main anchors to the show. That anchor, and when I use the word anchor, I'm not saying it keeps the show in place. No, I'm saying that it keeps the show stuck in this cycle of storytelling that is already boring. I mean, for me, the show became boring about the third episode in of this season. But that, again, that's just me.
I see where you're...
Go ahead.
What's wrong with facing?
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I understand what you're saying is that it was holding it back, but also they kind of did that themselves because it was like the first episode was like, hey, look, this badass bounty hunter. And then they're like, oh, look, cute little baby. And then it was all about, hey, cute little baby. And then Mando got stupider and stupider and stupider. And everybody around him was like better and better and better, and they kept having to hold his hand throughout the show, all his guest stars. Now that he's got no Baby Yoda, that's like the thing that sold the most was the Baby Yoda stuff.
Right.
So now they got to figure out what's going to sell the next thing. So are they going to try to make Mando look badass again, where it's just him?
I think
because kind of.
I think you're okay. So you make some valid points, but I'm going to say this again, Mirasphere. This show, this season, was used primarily as a vehicle to introduce other shows,
right?
Because they needed. This all came around at a fortuitous time for them, because if they hadn't already had this set up in advance, they would have been in a position where they had nothing. They would have had nothing to sell people on the streaming platform, which is the place that they intend to make their revenue going forward. But you're talking about a $12 billion swing in profit this year alone for Disney. In a loss, right? I mean, you went from profitability to a loss of such staggering amounts of money. It's not even funny. And for the foreseeable future through 2023. And I think I've talked about this on videos and other places and other shows. They won't achieve a profitability on any of their streaming services, any of them, not just Disney Plus, any of them until 2023. They won't hit profitability on Disney Plus until 2024. And we have no idea with the Star brand stuff that they're doing for India and now for Latin America. We don't know where that's going to land and where that'll start to become profitable, although they're reusing infrastructure that already exists. So that's the dollars and cents part of it, and that's usually not what we talk about on this show. But I want to get to Thomas Gilkey's super chat because he does make a good point. I'm just catching up. I'm glad you're here, Thomas. I appreciate it, my friend. You've been working a lot, dude. I just stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
Stay healthy. Stay in a good place, man. And if not, reach out to humans. Again, we finally have some good Star Wars, but it seems like no matter what, people aren't happy. Well, I've always poked holes in everything that I've loved. I poked holes in Superman. In fact, Superman 3, I can poke all the holes in the world. Yes, my man Vigilante. Yes, I can poke holes in it all day long, but I love Superman. It doesn't change the fact that I love it. I mean, Superman 3, I poke holes in that all the time, but I loved it. I love the film. I'm a weird person when it comes to that. I'm totally capable of criticizing everything that I love. If I weren't willing to think about it critically, I don't think I'd love it so much. It's just like with sports or anything else. I mean, you sit around, you have discussions about baseball and statistics and whether or not, Barry Bonds or Pete Rose deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, these are discussions that you have. You're critical about the things that you love. Even if those are your favorite players and you're being intellectually honest, you have to come around to do what people consider a moral issue factor into the fact that they should or should not be in the Hall of Fame. So it's the same concepts, the same discussions. And Thomas Gilkey, your last part of this is absolutely true. Favreau is the key to Star Wars.
Absolutely.
For right now, yes, but he's only capable of running 4 or 5 simultaneous projects at the same time, and it removes him from the ability to put movies together for Disney, and he does that so very well. So, go ahead.
I heard someone say it in a stream recently that the problem is that, Favreau had like Marvel and the fact that, he was like the Godhead kind, but the problem is he came in late to the Star Wars project. And so like he has to use some of the foundation, the building blocks that they've put in there, and some of it's really shoddy. And so it's like, I feel like he is the best to visualize where it needs to go, but he's going to be stuck with some of the stuff that they've left him.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? And this is cool. And this gets right to this point of the jack of all casuals, AFK. It's the good thing about the fandom is that we can agree to disagree, and we still love to talk to each other afterwards. Yeah, absolutely. We still love each other. We still talk to each other. It doesn't matter. That's the part of being an adult that we needed to remember to do for the last 7 years. Right? Because this was happening long before it got to Star Wars. It was happening long before it got to Ghostbusters. Those were just the things that ticked people's psyches to wake up to it, because it's been going on for a while. And I promise you, we will get through the rest of the Star Wars thing, and then we were going to jump onto CD Projekt Red and that, and we can talk about that because everybody here is somehow involved in gaming. I would have to assume that Amber loses orders to gaming on a regular basis. Gaming widowing. So but anyway, and again, I really appreciate everybody popping in. We've had several folks that have shown up, including 66 Starship Alien, saying it's a community. TV is literally normie territory, regardless of the show. Oh, absolutely. And that's the fishing. You have to think that's the fishing hole that Disney's in right now. Their fishing hole is a broader audience than just us. But at the same time, the people who spend the most amount of money on your products, the people that are more invested in these things, those hardcore fans, they care about that stuff. They care about continuity. Mm-hmm. They care about good story. The Atlantean was talking about that. Vigilante Williamson talks about it all the time. That's where we live, right? That's where we live. Right. So there's that.
I remember so well in high school and stuff. You had the Star Trek hardcore fans and Star Wars hardcore fans, and they're always arguing like, "That's dumb. Oh, it's like this," and, because Star Trek was always more scientific and Star Wars was kind of more fantasy, and they would always I loved it. I would sit there and just laugh because I was just having fun. And now that I'm actually diving more into Star Trek than I've ever done before, watching all the original Star Treks from the beginning all the way through, I'm seeing man, some of the Star Trek is freaking great.
It is.
So is Star Wars.
It is.
And I see the difference. Yeah. And it's just
when you hang out, that's the thing, is when you hang out with others who have similar interests, they broaden your scope of thinking. When you hang out with people who have contrary opinions to your own, it informs your own. It changes you. It gives you opportunity to explore your own opinion in a way that develops more depth and breadth. Those are the things that you want. That's why fandom has done nothing but grown. It gets passed on generation to generation. And that's the thing that was largely ignored when the shift from the boy property of Star Wars went to the girl property of Star Wars. How about it just as an everybody property? Because that's where it started out, because boys and girls liked it both. But people's perception was, well, sci-fi is about boys. Well, it's science fantasy. It's not necessarily a sci-fi movie genre, right?
Plenty of ladies who are like full-blown dress up every year as like Star Trek or Star Wars characters every year, more than even I have ever done. And I'm like, I'm a big fan, but these, woof. Like that Star Wars girl, that chick has way more stuff than I do.
Oh yeah, Anna's amazing. Absolutely. Bad Bunny got a 34-inch ultra widescreen. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I hope you enjoy that. Nice. I think that's a great way to get it. That's a nice Santa gift for sure. And Jaffo says something specifically about the show. I like the references to spaghetti westerns. I don't mind the introduction of Baby Yoda, but they should have modeled Mando of the man with no name. Absolutely. How would that character handled keeping an infant? It wouldn't have been possible. And again, that was why Baby Yoda had to move along. And there had been 3 plans for that along the way, and someday we'll talk about those. But this is not the show for that.
Do you think Culture is going to actually bring a Baby Yoda show just for the people who love Baby Yoda so much? They're just going to be like, you know what? There's such a great, huge fandom of it that they should they're going to have like a new show just following Baby Yoda and Luke or something. Because
there are several animation projects in development.
They could do it
might
like
be one.
The babies.
There are several animation projects in development. So, and let's see. Qui-Gon, good to see you, my friend. Qui-Gon Gimli says they did the Luke scene so they could sell Luke action figures. You know what? You're probably not necessarily wrong. All of these things. See, this is a word that Disney likes to use. It's called synergy. Everything is supposed to reinforce the core. For the longest period of time, the core was about the physical entertainment structure. At least that's the way Eisner put the company back together when he saved it from being purchased by Japanese investors. So everything is about supporting the core. And they went back to those talking points because they wanted to see if they could resonate that with investors in the last investor day. If you watched all 4 hours of what was largely fairly boring, you were treated to some of those words. You've been treated to that word a few times in the quarterly conversations that they've had when they're trying to explain away the billions of dollars that they've lost. So obviously beyond, the international crisis we're dealing with, but that's how they work. They're always reinforcing the core with synergy. They want to. So products, if you consider it this way, parks, experiences, and products are their. That's where they make their most money. That's what pays the dividends. That's what pays for stock buybacks. Those are profit. That's their profit centers. Products, Luke Skywalker action figures. So just consider all of that as really the reason it doesn't hurt that they can now sell a Black Series Luke Skywalker, right? That you could probably get, a new hot toy version of Luke because of the show. So those types of things, right? Because the licensees have bailed out on the products. They need those licensees to buy back in. See what I'm saying? So, all right. Well, we've had very thoughtful discussion on this, but I want to move on to something that I want really to have our video gaming experts take over. I want Vigilante Williamson. I want the Atlantean and Wes and probably Mirasphere. I want you guys to talk about the thing that's going on with CD Projekt Red, because CD Projekt Red was a company that, for the most part, gamers were very affectionate about. And it's it's one of those things where I don't know. They seem to be able to do no wrong. Maybe I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but they
For a long time,
they represented the consumer in a way that we didn't feel we were being represented before, or in a large way for a very long time. Other companies went about offending us in various ways and insulting us by giving us underdeveloped products. So, with that being said, Vigilante Williamson, you have told us now recently in the last few moments that you are going to be returning your Cyberpunk game. Let's start there.
Absolutely. And I would actually challenge the idea that they ever did anything differently than other companies, because The Witcher launched with glitches. I think they were good at purporting to be different to other companies. They had their, let's leave the green with other companies. The game will be finished when it's done. I think they were good at marketing themselves as a company like Sucker Punch made Ghost of Tsushima, who actually was able to give us a complete, beautiful experience on the base PS4 at launch, and then add on their online component within a few months. Granted, it's not comprehensive of what Cyberpunk at least hopes to be, but you know what the real tragedy is, and I was actually talking about it on my podcast. Shameless plug, and shout out to Fireball Productions, because he was on with me. And we were talking about Cyberpunk, and I hadn't realized it at the point because I hadn't played enough, but after playing more, even outside of the bugs, there's really nothing to this game. You just go somewhere, shoot something, leave, and that's it. It's a beautiful world. But I didn't realize until my last playthrough just last night, or last stream last night. I'm like, this game really isn't fun, even if it works. And it still is very buggy. They did do a patch, but there's still tons of bugs. Yeah, I think this game overall, we were sold a bill of goods. I know a lot of people are still enjoying their experience, and shout out to that. And with anything we say, you know what I mean? If you enjoy it. I hope you love it. I hope you have the most fun. But I did not have fun with the experience, even when it did work. So I will take advantage of taking it back. And yes, I also crashed through the world after trying a level 100 times, and then finally getting through it, and then it crashed through. I just fell through the earth, and it was like, okay, I'm done. So I hadn't played in like a week, and then when I finally played, I'm like, okay, I didn't fall through the earth after beating this level this time, but when I actually play, it's not even that good. So yeah, just disappointed. It just I hadn't bought at launch in a long time, and I learned just don't buy at launch.
I can't.
Okay, and you know what, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of people that have had your experience on the console side of things that feel very similar to how you do. There are some folks that have had positive experiences on the console side of things, but Rowan Ginger Ravens is something I think that I wanted to highlight, and that is this: Ryan, Eric, and Razorfist deserve an award for keeping it real, and they, you know what, they're very much. I mean, we have to hold all these companies accountable to the same level that we do, right? I mean, Vigilante Williamson, you would say the same thing, right? We need to hold them to the same level as everybody else, because you said yourself during the course of that conversation that you didn't think they were very different to begin with. Is that right?
Wait, talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Trinoculus said, what platform did I play on? I started to
yeah, I understand. No, I was just saying is that we have to give credit to the people that are keeping it real, like yourself, because you're willing to call out and hold these companies accountable to the same level. That's essentially what I was saying. So,
well, yeah, I try to. I really think I'll put myself back once I'm not typing. I really think the developers were putting something good together. Or at least trying to, but the business people, the execs at the company kind of ruined what they had. But I mean, some people in the chat said, I disagree. I still like it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I said, there's a boringness I just have with it. It's a very pretty game, and I'm playing on base PS4, and I mean, it does have stretches of working. But what it does is like, is this really worth it? Maybe I would like it more if not for the bugs. I don't know, but it does just like, you know what? This is not really that great of an experience to eat. Like, and my real thing is there's no RPG elements. This is not really an RPG. It acts like it's an RPG, but it's very much on rails. And yeah. No,
I look. You are I agree with you, man. Look, I enjoy the game, and we'll get to me, but I want everybody to have their voice heard. And that's one of the other reasons I like doing this show the way I do it, and pushing the politics out the door, because we can all talk about these things and act like grown-ups and not have to worry about the other crap getting thrown at us.
Yeah.
Kai MFS brings up a good point. For those of you who are not feeling Cyberpunk 2077, you should participate in our gaming awards, our stream that we're doing this coming Thursday over on Kai MFS's channel. The Gaming Lounge is hosting its first annual, and by the way, we are going to continue to do this for as long as we have platforms. We are going to host a player voting gaming awards, which means you guys will all vote for this. We will have no jury. There will be only a panel that assembled the games that came out during the prescribed period of time during the year, and we'll move forward from there. So be sure to check out Kai MFS's tweets that are relevant to it. Check out his channel. All that stuff will be there. So just keep that in mind, and please participate, because Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the games that's on that list, and so is Ghost of Tsushima, which Qui-Gon Jinn says he's been enjoying very much, and a lot of people have.
So
and Runner is one of those folks that have an opinion. He doesn't agree with everything that many people have said, because really the only thing he has problems with are the bugs and the glitches. So
I fall more in the Runner camp, I think.
Okay, and now, so that's going to lead me into somebody else who's also critical, the Atlantean, and then we're going to go to Wes and then Mirrorsphere. So Atlantean, let's do it. Talk about CD Projekt Red and your frustrations there.
I'm going to come clean. I'm not frustrated anymore. I find the situation absolutely hysterical. I find it hysterical in a morbid sense, because the idea of this developer, which was developing games for PC in the Witcher series, being held up as this, they're different. They're not like anybody else. They're not going to lie to us, which, I mean, admittedly, they've been doing since The Witcher 3. But, let's not talk about that. We'll just ignore that, because, Witcher 3 was amazing 2 years later, but it wasn't amazing at launch. But, they're held up as this bad. They're put on this pedestal that is absurdly high, for anything in general, but especially games developers. And just the fact that in the last week alone, it's been more than a week now, it's been like 9 or 10 days, but in that time they've gone from the holy grail of like, oh my god, these people are great, we bow to them, they know what we want, to, oh my god, they're just like EA and Ubisoft and Activision. I find that hysterical. And I find it even more hysterical because of the conflict going on. There's people who are, like myself, who are trying to hold these people accountable for the stupid nonsense that they're pulling. The lying, the being dishonest, the fact that the execs were trying to sell the game as finished back in January, when the developers themselves were saying, no, it's not finished. It's not finished. Don't say that.
Yeah.
As if 4 delays throughout 2020 doesn't cement that anyway. It's just, that fall is funny to me. And I can't help but laugh, like I said, because there's this inner conflict going on that people want to hold, there's a large group of people that want to hold them accountable, are holding them accountable, are yelling at them. And then there's another group, which I'm going to call the CDPR apologists to a certain degree, who are saying, no, you're just overreacting. It's not that bad. And they cite, the fact that they haven't had any issues, or they're playing, because they're playing on a PC. I haven't had any issues. I play on a PC. It's like, great anecdotal evidence. It's great that you're not experiencing it. But when a majority of the gamers on current gen systems, and I'm going to stress current gen systems, because I actually got into a spiff with somebody else who tried claiming that Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't marketed for current gen. They were marketed for PS5 and Xbox One. It's like the game was announced in 2012, was in a sort of pre-development with the CDP, with their secondary team. I don't know what they call it. For 4 years. It officially entered pre-production in 2016, which is production before actual production starts. So the game was technically in development for 8 years. It's been officially in development for 4. And they were developing it before the current gen life cycle was even the current gen life cycle. There's no way that they were planning on making this game for PS4 or PS5. So that argument's out the window anyway. So it's just that whole conflict. And it's just making me laugh at this point. Like a couple days ago, I'm like, you know what? We need to hold these people accountable. The fact that they're gonna, they want to make it, that they're gonna release patches. We should wait. They don't deserve the time. If gamers aren't entitled to a working game that they purchase, now I'm gonna say this right now. No game is perfect. Okay, even going back to the old cartridge days, no games were perfect. But there's no reason we should be giving these people a chance to correct a mistake when, one, they made the same mistake with The Witcher 3, which is a game they released previously. But, and they're making the same mistake again. They don't deserve that. If the gamers aren't entitled to a working product that they said was working for the consoles that they have, they're not entitled to our time. That's not how it works. Because that sort of mindset leads us to the industry we currently have. EA, right. Ubisoft, Activision, all these people that released day one patches and microtransactions, they weren't evil to begin with. They didn't start out evil. It slowly ebbed up when people was like, okay, let's give them a pass. We'll give them a pass. They screwed up, but we'll give them a chance to fix it because they can. And it just snowballed into this, now you get a day 0 patch because you'll buy it anyway. It's like,
well, here's the thing. I mean, I see that what I think happens is you end up with playtesting, and playtesting isn't as extensive as it needs to be. And it speaks to this mindset that 66 Starship Alien is that I highlighted here, is that they wanted to release it before Christmas to cash in. They've delayed it 4 times theoretically. I mean, from what I'm to understand, 3 public and 1 internal, but it was the product wasn't perfected. I can't possibly they couldn't possibly think that it was ready to go, and it was a bad business decision that was made to appease the investors. It did appease the investors. There's no doubt about that. But I did want to highlight the super chat real quick. Yeah, briefly, not now, but briefly. They had huge stock price gains. Biggles Metz sends us a $2 super chat. Says, "Hi everyone, hi Biggles Metz, and thank you for becoming one of the newest members of the channel. And I'm so glad that you're here. And I missed a super chat from you last week, and I still feel bad about that. I'm going to keep saying I'm sorry, but thank you so much for that one as well." Wes, this is your opportunity to talk about it before I let the girls talk about it, and then I let Mirasphere rage for an hour and a half. So.
Okay. Well, absolutely, you should hold the company accountable. In my opinion, this bun wasn't ready to come out of the oven. I think it needed more development time. There's definitely some bugs, and I'm playing on the PC, and it's crashed 3 times on me. And then there's two missions I couldn't complete because of a bug. It's a beautiful game. It's very ambitious, but it is not completed, and they should not have released it. That being said, aside from the bugs, I disagree with Vigilante Williamson. The story is very engaging. It's very interesting. It's really, it takes really. There's pretty much no holds barred. In fact, I'm a little disappointed that they held back in some areas, but you can. As far as a sandbox and being able to do what you want, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this world. I'm enjoying the story. But yeah, bugs, what if I have to redo a mission 3 times because it crashes or because of a bug? Kind of pisses me off and it takes me out of it. Another thing, this isn't necessarily a bug, but their inventory system is completely broken on this game. It's not really user-friendly and intuitive at all. They really need to fix it.
There are some elements I would change. If I were a playtester, I would have brought to their attention. One of them is the driving mechanism in the mini map. I think other people have talked about that. There's a lot of funny to go around here. A 22% drop in their stock after the huge rise that they had, that probably didn't appease them very much so. And of course, 66 Starship Alien got a laugh out of that, but just true. But Riff Mago says something that I think I think makes a lot of sense. Working product. Tell that to those of us who ordinarily would enjoy Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is another game that released recently. Don't get me started on slowing down XP to sell XP boosts, but that's been going on for a while with microtransactions and Ubisoft specifically. They've been doing that for quite some time, and it's frustrating. It's almost as frustrating as this happening. Forbidden Ruin says, didn't COD Cold War have 100 gigabyte day one patch? Yeah, it's out of control. When essentially you're selling the game and then they're making them download the game again on this day it's supposed to be able to play the game. And for people that have like massive internet bandwidth, that's not a problem. But for people who have tiny internet bandwidth, they'd be downloading that thing for 4 days, and their internet
all day,
knocking on their
day.
Yeah,
make sure you have the
it could be a real problem. And internet right now is a challenge, especially in communities that aren't fleshed out with infrastructure, or you live in a more rural area. Speaking of which, let's get on to the lovely ladies of the panel who have not spoken enough, and it's because the guys are loud. You guys are very loud.
Listening. I'm enjoying it.
I'm teasing. Atlantean, you didn't have to go off camera. I was teasing. Amber,
I'm adjusting myself, man. That's why I shut it off.
Ooh, I'm glad we didn't see that. Okay, Amber. Anyway, please tell us. Being a gaming widow that you are, please speak at length about you because I know Ords has talked about this stuff. I'm sure you've had earfuls. So please.
Oh yeah, he actually just told me. Was it last night or the night before that the whole Cyberpunk was it started in 2012 or?
No, well, yeah, they
I was
announced it in
shocked
2012.
to hear that because it just came out. I'm like, really? That long? People waited that long for this?
Yeah.
And to just see all the trouble people are having, it would be a little disheartening to have to, deal with that. But I know Ords enjoys the game and I like to watch. It's fun. But there are the graphic errors. That's frustrating. And he has some friends that play on PS4 that are having trouble. So it does suck.
But visually stunning game, right? And
it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, there's definitely a unique take to this world. So it isn't all bad. Again, as a fan of something or someone who enjoys something, we shouldn't have a problem criticizing or critiquing it, right? And even if the company has done some really shady stuff when we didn't anticipate they would do shady stuff, but yeah. And then of course AFK Bard, who is and was a long-term clan member of MMORPGs and other forms of gaming. Where do you fall on this, or do you care?
I have always been a proponent of companies releasing stuff that's finished. I think most gamers are, but I think that this one was kind of. I wasn't paying attention to it for one, because CD Projekt Red isn't like one of those company names that jumps out at me. It's not like I've played any of their games previously, sort of. So I'm kind of with Amber in the fact that I didn't realize that this has been rolling since like 2012. But at the same time, I mean, we've had issues with, Elder Scrolls. I mean, how long have they've been promising their next one? I mean, some game people are just ridiculous.
I haven't started it yet.
Yeah,
I did have an issue where accidentally on Elder Scrolls on Skyrim, where I accidentally bumped the right trigger and decapitated the person to give me a mission, and I could never complete that mission after that.
Man, isn't that frustrating? It's terrible.
Beautiful animation, though.
Vigilante Williamson, you're actually returning this game. So your experience had to have been so catastrophic that you can find no joy in it whatsoever.
It's not necessarily that. It's a multitude of things. One of the things is I have the option to, and I have to send a message to gaming companies, because I think this is not just on Cyberpunk, to be fair. I think No Man's Sky ruined this, and I think Fallout 76 ruined this, and then retailers say, you know what? We cannot keep accepting unfinished games from these retailers. But to be fair, like I said, initially my plan was, you know what, I'm going to return this game. I plan on building a new PC. By the time that's built, this will be fixed and I'll buy it. But I'm not even sure if I'll do that personally, because Wes was talking about the story. I'm trying to avoid the story. I'm trying to get into this world of Night City, and I don't find much there. And so that was my point of kind of like, yeah, this is not quite what I wanted.
I have been so overwhelmed with things to do in Night City, that I haven't advanced the story very far. But I'm a completionist, so when it comes to games, I'm the guy that does every side mission, I chase every duck and carry him back to the wizard that wants the duck. That's just me. So. But I see your point. I mean, if you aren't engaged in the beginning of the game, if you weren't engaged, I feel you, man. I do, I really do, and especially if you're having all the frustrations that have been coming along with it. I mean, I've had people talk to me about both experiences, both positive and negative on the console. I've had people talk to me about both positive and negative on the PC. I've had nothing but positive, with very limited bugs. Very few glitches. I did have to restart a mission one time, but that was. Do you realize how many times in Skyrim I've had to restart missions or had to like reboot the game because it's not it's not jiving. I've been doing that since consoles were a thing. Even back in as Atlantean says, in the cartridge days, there was a glitch in Pitfall, on Atari, going back in the old that you would be going along doing really well and you'd get completely foobarred and your perfect run game that you were doing of Pitfall would be a fail and you had to start again. It was part of the challenge.
But see, there's difference between like first day glitches, like even when World of Warcraft releases expansion packs, you expect there's going to be those issues, but it's still playable. Like there's this base level of like you should trust that you can walk from point A to point B and be able to get all of your missions and whatnot done. You shouldn't be like afraid that crossing the street you're suddenly going to launch across the map. Like that's like beyond just like an oops, I forgot to like put
the world completely.
I had that happen. Okay, so I will say that it's one of those glitches where I jumped backwards. But instead of jumping back like the reasonable 3 meters, right, I jumped back 1,000 meters and I had to run all the way back up to the location that I was. It only happened. It only happened the one time, because I think there's a piece of cyberware that you can invest in that allows you to like leap or dodge out of the way like by significant distance. And I think that it thought I had that installed and B took it and did it to the nth degree. So I was like, see ya, I'll be back in a while.
And this is like there are issues that go down to like the whole basic just like mapping of like knowing where objects are going. And it's like if you're working on a game since pretty much 2012 and you've been going through all these stages, that just seems like the bare minimum you should be able to know where people are moving their characters on your screen.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things. I understand that AFK, but like I said, I mean, my enjoyment has not been tainted. Other people's have, and I don't like that. I want everybody to get as much as they can out of something. The broadest possible audience should be able to enjoy and appreciate this. So, and again, like I said, if you're doing a day one patch and you have 1.5 terabytes to work with for a month, and 100 gigabytes of that is gone. 1/15 of that is gone in one game. And then you're doing online gaming and you're doing streaming of video and all that. Yeah. That's a huge hit. It's a giant percentage of your bandwidth. You really, and that's just no good. I didn't expect BL3 to be such a good launch, but here we are. Wow.
Oh, that being said, I've watched people play it and it looks awesome. If it actually functions, it does look awesome.
Yep. So. Yep. Oh, K. John Boom makes a good point. And our friend Mando Merck, who's usually a part of the panel, but is pretty much exclusively Cyberpunk 24/7. So if you want to see somebody play that and play the heck out of it, he's doing it right now as well. We've got many people here on this panel that are doing it. But people are still waiting for Chris Roberts' Star Citizen game. They started crowdfunding back in 2012, and it's still in alpha. It is, but it's playable. And I have had fewer crashes since the latest alpha patch, which the last one of the year just went live. So if you are a PC gamer, check out Star Citizen. The persistent universe is fairly amazing. Every once in a while, they have a free flight weekend, give you a chance to fly some of the ships and get invested in the game. And the obviously after the comma there, it's still alpha. Some parts are playable. but who knows if it will ever be released. And that's a good point, but I think they are headed towards release, and I think that they have a funding mechanism in place that makes it so that they can continually develop a game that is so far reaching that it was never considered to be possible to do. So I think that game's gone a long way. And our friend again, Mando Merc, plays that and does it regularly. Although right now, Cyberpunk 2077. Biggles Met says Cyberpunk is irrelevant to me now with the WoW expansion. WoW Shadowlands is too good for me to play anything else. You know what? I've had a lot of people go back to World of Warcraft and tell me the same thing, even after the last garbage expansion that made me want to quit Battle, whatever it was. So, but yeah.
Oh, Battle for Azeroth. It was yeah. No, can I complain though? I just want to complain.
Yeah, please. Oh, that's what we're here for.
I have a crap computer that I'm using right now. I have a nice one that currently I need a computer person to fix for me, but my crap one has been able to play Warcraft bare minimum since forever. But they updated it at some point so that it won't play on a 32-bit Windows or whatever. And I got so pissed off because I was like, they literally updated it to the point where I couldn't play it on my computer anymore. Yeah, and I was like, dude, I was giving you money. What the heck?
Yeah, and they'll do that because they raise the bar so high with the graphics that it prices you out of your thing. And it happens more and more often now. I mean, a lot of games, they'll preserve that base for a long time, but then you get to the point where you have to, in order to deliver for the next generation, everything has to step up. And so you'll lose a huge portion of your fan base because they can't afford to go out and upgrade a video card or upgrade an entire machine. And Apex Comics, I feel you, man. I used to play video games, but I'm glad I didn't buy Cyberpunk 2077. I'll buy the Keanu action figure instead. By the way, the Keanu dialogue pieces are really well done. His voice sounds a little odd, but because you can tell it was a voiceover studio. But when they did motion capture, if they did it on him, whoever they did it with, did a decent job. And you have to remember, one of the things that happened late in development was the addition of Keanu Reeves. So this game was in place.
That was last minute. That was a late.
Well, not last minute, but it was. I wasn't.
Yeah. I was gonna say last minute. I was trying to correct myself. I meant to say late edition. That was late edition.
Yeah, very, very late, which changed the storylines. It changed some other stuff in the game, so we have to consider that as well. This thing.
I have a counter to that.
Oh, please go ahead, Vigilante.
Okay, it was said by a Commodore 66. I forgot the.
Oh yeah, the Starship. There she is.
Yeah. Last time it was postponed a few weeks ago, fans said to wait this long, we can wait until next year, and they did because they wanted to get it out before Christmas. Yes. When they did the first delay, they could have did what. Sorry, my voice is shitting the bed. But when they did the first delay, they could have did what Halo Infinite did. And just delay it to next year. Let's just wait. Let's give ourselves a ton of space. I love the invisible liquid you drink. That's so awesome.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, depending on what I'm drinking. If it's coffee, it's maroon. But if it's water or soda, it's in the green cup.
It's a green screen cup.
Yeah. But yeah, they could have delayed it long enough to account for this. They could have said, you know what? We want to give you a finished product. This will come out December 2021. We're sorry, but we want to give you a finished product. The fans would have been upset in that moment, but they would have got enough time to finish this product and come out next Christmas and, deliver. But they didn't want to.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, I had heard that they had delayed it again, right? And I just, I didn't get the dates. But I swear to God, when I heard that they just the game had been released, I was like, wait. I thought they had delayed it for work because it was not that long ago when they announced that it was delayed. And in my head, I'm like, how can you really realistically change anything in that time period to make any great effect in time to create produce the game physically and then put it out there for market at that point? It's just it was kind of like they were spinning wheels pretending to do something, but there's no way in that small amount of time they could have fixed what is still going on in the game to this day. They had to have looked at it and been like, okay, well, we fixed it, quote unquote, let's release it. So what were they fixing before they released it?
Well, and that would be a good question, because they really had and they lacked the tuning that needed to go into this game. In my opinion, the optimization is the word that they use, and I think that the problem is they had they expanded what they were willing to support all along the line. And that created a circumstance or situation that made it so that they weren't focusing on the game in the main aspect of development, which should have been, they should have pushed hard on the PC development, gotten it done, and then done what you normally do, which is to port it out everywhere else. And that's, to every other console, every other place, and tune it in a way that it actually operates. Because once you have it up and running with no glitches, no problems on your main machine, which in this case would be a PC, then you can port it elsewhere, and you will be able to tune it individually to those things, because there are known issues that happen along the way when you port from PC to one particular console or another. So, and I have to assume that Trinoculus, this was about Wes's chopping off the head of an NPC. So I have to assume that's what that was. So.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is true. Fenrir Fire says something brilliant as usual. Aside from CDPR failing to release a functional game, most fans are mad because they have a great track record in Atlantean's Lace. Absolutely. Yeah. And when they launched this flaming dumpster, a ton of trust was lost, which hurts the most of all. Absolutely. And yeah. And anyway, we are going long, guys. We're an hour and a half now. I usually only do 90. I want to see if I can highlight a few more folks that are in the thing here. Let's see. Yeah. Shoot. There we go. Yeah. WoW crashed 30 times on launch day. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Glinzer says Cyberpunk has been a pitfall for consumers. Yes.
Yeah, that really sucks for WoW, especially because I remember MMO days. Like, I haven't played my MMO in a long time, but when the new launch, you have a wait time to get in your server. And when you finally get in, you're like, yes! And then they have it crash. It's like,
yeah. Oh, dude.
When they do these multi-platform launches, that seems to be kind of the Achilles heel for these companies. I remember when Keiji Inafune, and I'm a big Mega Man fan, as some of you know,
yeah,
he did his Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9, and Mighty Number 9, man, that thing had a lot of problems, and all that goodwill was gone.
Didn't they try releasing that for like seven different systems?
PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and then I think on Steam as well.
I think
yeah.
Oh God.
I am going to do right now, because I've done a little bit of mobile game development. Porting to different systems sucks.
It does.
like doing something just for PC is a lot easier. And you know what? Just make it easier on yourself. If Cyberpunk was Cultures just said it. If you just release this PC exclusive at first, you give yourself a better chance.
Yeah,
at doing everything.
They did. They should have marketed like that. That's the main thing. I think the main problem was the marketing people. When they announced this game way too soon, I think.
Well, it would have built the hype if it. Okay.
To build the hype. That was like one of the main problems. They were allowing hype to grow, and then not like, hey guys, I think they should have said, hey, we need to market this for the PC. Right off the bat, they should have said, hey, this is PC and probably next gen consoles at first. And then if they're like, hey, the next gen's not out, we can go in and let's say they announced it and they released it for PC without all the bugs and stuff, they'd have been far better off than trying to say, hey, we're gonna release on every system, but it's only really gonna work on the PC. We're just not gonna say anything. We're not gonna let people review it on anything else. That was a big problem right there, is they didn't allow the reviewers to be like, hey, it's not working on anything else but PC and high-end PCs. I'll say this, they're not as bad as some of the other companies though. Like, I remember Anthem. Anybody remember that game?
No.
Yeah, this is not as bad as that, I guess.
That fucking pissed me off, because they not only faked the trailer, but they weren't even halfway ready for the game to be released. Like, they were like, they they came out with that trailer and it was fucking awesome. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I ever seen." Like I was one of those dudes. Like I'm like, this is like Iron Man mixed with the fucking the coolest shit. Because you're like flying around there, like the whole world changes as you freaking change things and all that stuff. Absolute lie. Because later on you find out the people in the development team who are working on a game were like, "What's that game? That game looks fucking cool." And they're like, "Oh shit."
They were surprised, because it was a video production that was done. It's kind of like the cutscenes in WoW don't look like WoW. I mean, that's just, in fact, those were the guys that were originally supposed to give us a World of Warcraft movie. But Jaffa says something fun, and because we need to move along and cut this short, unfortunately, because we've run a little long, and I want to support everybody else's live shows today. Because you know me, I love everybody else. But Jaffa says the most important thing that you need to remember in a particular game, which is at the beginning, you make sure you hit up, up, down, down, left, right, BA select start. That's where amazing cheat codes for many amazing old classic games.
Dude, I remember those shit.
For two-player, not for one player. For one
no, it's two-player. Absolutely. Yeah.
Some indie games have that in there.
Yeah. Oh no. I love the fact that we still, can use some fun cheat codes to do some certain things. Bad Bunny, I am glad you're enjoying your new screen. I'm not sure how much sharing you wanted to do, but there you are.
Enjoy your wife.
Rowan Ginger Raven Kate, thank you, says, and T-Pose is like, what? Yeah, I know. I've seen those errors with the in Cyberpunk where the characters are
asserting dominance.
Like they're in the middle of shooting, and all of a sudden they just like, what's going on?
T-Pose, yeah, it's really awesome. All right, look at all the great human beings in here. Opta Racer 21 stops by. Thank you for popping in. Casino Fenrir Fire victory hugs like at the end of Return of the Jedi. What just happened is NK. All right, you guys, this is awesome. It's good to see all of you. You guys are great. Appreciate each and every one of you. Shadowlands is amazing, says Kai MFS, and he would know. Battle for Dumpster Fire. Yes, that was the worst WoW expansion ever.
I haven't played WoW since the Panda one.
Operator has an optimistic view of the future with Luke Skywalker. Well, I like I said, I'm going to say this because I've said it before. I will say it again. And in my members stream, we will talk at length about it, I'm sure, which is there is an opportunity for divergent storylines. And I know for a fact that there are divergent storylines in the future for these products that are coming out of Disney that are Star Wars related, both on Disney Plus and in other ways.
Do you think they're going to go the route when Paramount and CBS split, and they're going to have a movie universe and they're going to have a streaming universe?
No, I think that they're going to recombine them in a different way, and that largely things will be left to their own version of history.
Just don't let Rey ever exist. That's all I want.
No,
they could make her the villain. Well, she is the villain, really.
Holy cow, Glinzer! I'm going to have to look this up. That would be insane.
Whoa.
Yeah, R.I.P. Konami.
This is an internet story video. I've seen that said. R.I.P. Konami.
This game is all about going full sprint and looking at your arm shadows. Okay.
What?
I haven't done that.
Holy cow, Biggles, are you sleeping, dude? My fourth alt is over 30 hours plus at max level. LOL. I have like 10 days playtime. So, dude, try sleeping.
Dude, I just started. I started at 8:00 this morning until like 12:30, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's already 12:30. I gotta."
Make love, not Warcraft. Well, gaming widows like Amber, right, Amber? Amber's like, I need to tap out of here. I'm bored.
No.
14, I'm just saying.
He's bored. You guys bored the pants off, or you bored the pants onto Amber and AFK.
No.
Anyway, let's see. We've got 66 Starship Alien saying, "Oh well, glitches add to the mystery of the game." Yeah, not.
Some glitches are funny. There are some points where you do a glitch and you just laugh. You're like, "Oh my god, that was fucking great."
Dude, Blue-Eyed Scorpio, good decision for you. WoW is the largest time suck in the history of man. If you want to lose years of your life, World of Warcraft is the way to go about it.
Beagles Met says I work 20 hours. I'm sorry. Big Old
Say
Met
again?
says I work 40 hours a week and I play 40 hours a week. That's come on.
There's
Biggles.
no
You have to-
sleeping. Biggles, dude, I love you. Don't, dude, sleep once in a while. Mix in some food and exercise. See the outside.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ,
gosh.
man.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
boy.
fun, man. Who needs sleep when you have World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, Rowan's in there too. Kate, you guys, I'm losing all of you. Oh no. Ooh, server first level
It can get like
80
that.
DK. Good for
Yeah,
you,
Final Fantasy
memes.
11 was really bad when it first came out too.
Good for you. I like the
Hours.
Death Knights when they introduced them. So some bugs are comedy relief. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to wind down. I want everybody to have an opportunity to say peace and in their own unique way. We will save the most amazing and the fairest, the fairer gland for the end here. So we will start with the guy with the camo hat, who at the bottom here. Let's start with the Mirror Sphere's origin, my friend. Tell everybody a little bit about you. Give yourself the 45-second outro, and we'll move along.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy, being good to each other, enjoying your entertainment, enjoying everything. We're just small. We're not very big. I'm 120 subscribers now. I just hit 120, so that's great. And we're growing. We're growing slowly but surely, and we're having fun. I just started Cyberpunk myself. I don't know if I'm doing any videos because and it sucks, but I just have fun, guys. Enjoy what you enjoy, play what you want to play, and never surrender. But I hope you all have fun, and I'll see you next time.
Excellent. Well done, and thank you very much, Mirror Sphere. Let's let our one of our guests, one of our amazing panelist guests today, Vigilante Williamson, talk a little bit about his channel and everywhere he's going to be today because he's busy today. So please, Vigilante Williamson.
Yeah, right after this stream, I'm going to do my own stream. I am going to be talking about a little bit of politics and cyberpunk. I'm not going to mention it because I know Casino likes to keep everything politics free, but let's just say a certain organization made a lot of money and it didn't really go to what they said it would. And also I have to talk to Jake B, who's howling about entertainment. So join me on this channel as well. And then I streamed Cyberpunk. So if you want to see my live reaction to Cyberpunk, please check me out there. And I also want to because Apollo Patriot reminded us in the chat, give a shout out to Tulips from Titan because we want to give a shout out to all the smaller YouTubers. Because I'm a small YouTuber. I just got over 100 subscribers and I know how that grind is, and I'm still on the grind myself. So yeah, everyone look up Tulips from Titan. I will right after the stream and give her a sub.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Vigilante Williamson. And I really hope we can get you back here once in a while.
Yeah,
maybe get you onto some of the other shows, man. It's great to have you. Thank you very much for joining us. And man, it's amazing. Oh wow, we have a couple of late super stickers from our friend Crazy Cat Guy, $5 super sticker, of course. And of course, he's giving us the old good job. Well, good job, and thank you very much. I'm glad you appreciated what we did today. Hopefully it was entertaining and everybody had a good time. And we didn't offend you too much. And then of course Crazy Kaka with another $3 super sticker. Oh my gosh, thank you very very much. With just a bye kitty, bye. Although I think it's a fox. I need this debate ended. Is this a Shiba Inu? Is this a fox? Somebody. I want someone from YouTube or somewhere to officially tell me that this is a Shiba or
it's whatever you want.
It looks like a Shiba.
Okay.
It looks like a Shiba.
Okay. All right. Well, it can be whatever you want it to be. It's pretty awesome. But thank you again for the super stickers, Crazy Cat Guy. I truly appreciate you. Each and every one of you guys is just truly amazing. Thank you so very much. Wes Moody from the Wes Moody Webcast, one of the guys I love to hang out with. I get to hang out with 3 times a week, sometimes more. Sometimes we hang out with Justin. Sometimes we hang out with the TR4 crowd. There are times when Wes and I see each other every day. Wes, please tell everybody about you quickly so we can get Atlantean going as well.
Hail to you, my friends. The best chat on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here for this show, and make sure that you're subscribed to everyone on the panel. And Yeah, I'm Alice. So I talk about yeah. I am Wes Moody, the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast and patreon.com/Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. Hope to see you there, my friends. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Wes. And I just want to interject this very quickly with Kai MFS leaving our chat saying, gonna go start my show soon. He has a wonderful game show that he does as well on Sundays, immediately following my show, sometimes sooner. Check that out if you have the time. It goes forever. So, if you go over and you check out Vigilante Williamson stream and you want to see Jake D, Kai might still be playing the game. If you've ever been on the game, you know that it's a marathon. It's
oh my gosh. I remember watching it for the first time when you and Ords were on it together.
Oh, it was so great.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and I went out of my way to make sure that Ords won and Mad lost. That's all I cared about.
I know. It was great.
So great. It was so fun. Anyway, and all right. So our very good friend, and gosh, I'm so glad your computer's back working. Mr. the Atlantean, the angry Atlantean, although a little less angry. I would say more thoughtful today.
Yes, I'm not as angry today. Yesterday was a really great night, and today was a really good day. So I'm not as angry. I'm mildly annoyed Atlantean today, I think.
Somewhat mildly perturbed Atlantean.
I would change my Twitter handle to actually say mildly annoyed Atlantean, but that would screw everything up with Fandom Collective and everything. So I just leave it as angry Atlantean. But yeah, I'm the Atlantean over on the Atlantean channel. Just a quick note, the URL is youtube.com/the Atlantean Jester. It's not the Atlantean. So just to get that out of the way, the Atlantean Jester on YouTube, that's the URL. Like Culture said, I actually got my PC back. I've been out of the game for about a month and a half. So I really haven't done much. And I haven't done much anyway, so my channel is pretty scant. But anyway, right now I have a couple projects in the works. I had a project I started. It's going to be continuing as a Splatterhouse retrospective from the old Splatterhouse games. And I also do bi-weekly streams of retro games.
Yeah, nice.
Occasionally. But
it's a great Link to the Past playthrough on there.
Yeah, there is.
All
that
right.
was fun.
Well, Atlantean, I hope everybody, if they aren't subscribed, do take an opportunity to subscribe to your channel. I've been a subscriber, and I've had the opportunity to hang out with you on the live streams before. I hope we can do that more often, my friend. And
yes, we should
keep grinding those out, man. I love those old school video game things. So, and now we lead into the lovely ladies. The only reason that any of you actually showed up today was AFK Bard and Amber. But let's start with AFK. We'll leave Amber for last because she's the bestest.
Aww.
So go ahead, AFK.
I agree. She is the best.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me. It's been really fun to be on stream with you, Amber, and everybody here is super awesome. I'm going to be reading tonight on my stream if anybody likes to listen to the streaming reading. But honestly, you can catch me on a replay because I think Ords is doing stuff tonight, which is way cooler, by the way. So yeah, I don't know. Happy holidays.
Well, thank you very much. You're amazing. I really appreciate your reading streams, AFK. I can't wait for Stranger Things to come back so you can do more about Stranger Things. I think you should dive more into those lore conversations because they are really awesome. Plus, I there are certain parties that hang out with you in those. I really enjoy as well. And of course, like I said, we saved the best for last. Amber Marie, the better half of the other half of the Harridan Menace Ord's board. Amber, Cash It Queen. Are you gonna build out your channel? Do you have anything you want to talk about? Do you want to promote?
I'm not
anything?
very interesting. I have thought about it, but I feel like I'm a good cheerleader. So maybe I'll just stick with that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm rooting for you, and I'm very glad you were here. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to give Ords a big hug for making you come on the stream. So thank you.
Didn't make me. I wanted to. I love you, Culture. And when I saw AFK was here, it made me feel so much better. I mean, the only person I know is Wes. I watch his videos, and you. And then I saw AFK, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll be okay. She'll be there.
all these other humans are wonderful people. And
yes, this is my first time meeting them. I did subscribe to all of you, so it was nice to meet you.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate you, Kashi Queen. You are the best. And I just want to say this on the way out the door. Zachrat wants to know what Star Wars shirt you're wearing.
Oh, Ord's got it for me, and it has Baby Yoda on it. So I was super excited. Runner says I am Amber's 32nd sub. So you went from 25 to 32 today. Wow,
if I'm doing the math. So awesome readings, AFK. I agree with you. You are 100% right, Fenrir Fire, and that is a great way to actually accidentally fall asleep on the couch because I've done that a couple times. Anyway, you guys, thank you so very much for being here. Each and every one of you out there let me turn the camera on. Wow, I'm a dork. Each and every one of you guys out there are the whole reason that we're here. We love to hang out with you. We love to have a good time. You guys are that important to us. And now I even kept 40 of you here through the end credits. So the members credits are going to follow, and then the promotional banners for the week will pop up. I'm going to add more to that since my channel count is growing of the people I follow. I'll keep doing it. You guys are the best. Again, subscribe to everyone on the panel if you're not, including our newer voices like Vigilante Williamson and and the Atlantean, and of course Amber Marie, also known as Kashyyyk Queen. Until then, guys, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. It really is. And until next time. Bye.
See ya.